Hey, welcome back to the Getting to This Place podcast with Reeya Banerjee and Luke Folger. We are talking about Reeya's record, This Place. We've been going episode by episode, song by song through the album, talking about what each song means and what it fits into the narrative. And we've come to episode 9, which is a song called Good Company. This song takes place in a bar. It's no secret to any of us who may have been around at the time. This bar is called Dogwood. It was a beloved bar, artist hang, music venue, crossroads of the world for Beacon, New York. Everything cultural and creative that happened in Beacon in a certain time period probably had its genesis in Dogwood, or in somebody who was a regular hanger-outer at Dogwood. As Reeya was. The opening line of the song, George announces free shots for everyone. George is George Mansfield, the owner of that bar. I give you this all as background just to say that this song, to me, can be sort of like having Easter eggs, in the sense that you can listen to this song not knowing who any of these people are, not knowing who any of it is, and you have a wonderful experience of, the value of friendship and the value of community. But if you do know these people, it gets even funnier, and in some cases a little juicier, because I know the people that Reeya is name checking in the song, and she quite accurately captures and depicts the vibe of the place. So just talk to me about that, Reeya, about the sense of community there and what Dogwood meant to you.
Yeah, it's funny. I've sadly, to bring this up, Dogwood doesn't exist anymore. It closed down recently, and it's a big loss for the community. I think everybody in Beacon who is a regular, which is almost everybody in the town, is sort of still grieving that loss. People used to call it Beacon's living room. It was, a community center. It was a hangout place. It was a place where, you could work out, like so many musicians pass through. You could, talk about song ideas. I'm working on this. I'm thinking about this. Beacon Music Factory, which is a music school in Beacon that Mark and I both worked at. A lot of their students did shows there. I did many shows there as a student. So that was, again, it was a place where people came and kind of geeked out about music and art and movies and, good beer and, it was a real big community. And so that line in particular, kind of, weirdly timely again, but that was, on the worst night of 2016, there was a huge gathering at Dogwood on election night in 2016, and everybody was there being like, yes, Hillary, glass ceiling, we're gonna break it tonight. Like, I came in there, I had like, a bunch of cash in my purse. I was gonna be tipping the bartenders like crazy. I had like a portable phone charger so that I could keep my phone from dying, so I could, text my dad, text my friends, and we were all watching. And then there was that point when it became very clear that it was not going the way we were thinking and hoping it would go. It became apparent very quickly, and the whole energy and mood of the place became funereal. And then George, who owns the bar, just stood up and said, all right, free shots. I'm giving out free shots. Line up, pick your poison, whatever liquor, whatever, you want tequila, you want whiskey or whatever. I think we all need it. And everyone queued up to do that. And so that was a not a happy night, but it was also a night where, we needed each other, as a community, and we came together we all got very drunk and sad, but we needed that kind of, that community, that family, that support, going through something like that.
So Luke, how do you create a sonic environment that conveys this sort of sense of community and the joy and the sadness and the belonging and all of that? I mean, are there particular, not to get too music nerdy about it, are there particular chord sequences or progressions or voicings that evoke kind of that longing, wistful feeling that's there?
Yeah, for sure. This was an instrumental that had acoustic in it, and I think it started with electric, and we added the acoustic, but it was the most like it like messed with folk a little bit because of that like warm sort of fireplace vibe, and then the chorus is also like something that's like it's not quite sentimental. We actually ended up adding mandolin and 12-string guitar and like getting this like cozy thing. It added a lot of warmth to it, I thought. And so yeah, we what were we saying, Reeya? We wanted it to be like everyone kind of with arms around each other, like kind of singing along.
Yeah, big sing along
That's
kind
exactly,
of.
yeah, that's the
Very,
conveyed feeling that gets conveyed, yeah.
Yeah, I think it
sometimes
worked.
you want to go where everybody knows your
In
name.
particular, the sort of the chorus bit or the cast of characters low and high and a beacon in dark times, a not so subtle double entendre there. Very,
Slip
very
that one
well
in.
done. Well
Yeah,
played.
and then and then Luke speaking to the sort of the folky aspect of it. Beacon, as you know, Mark is a very
Home of Pete Seeger.
folky, exactly. Yeah, home of Pete
It doesn't
Seeger.
get more folky than that.
Yep.
Exactly, and a lot of the musicians in the area are kind of in that folk Americana zone. Bob Dylan is like everybody's hero and god, and you get into a music conversation
Well,
at Dogwood.
at least yours and
Eventually,
Jonathan Fritz, anyway.
yes, yeah, exactly.
Which is referenced in the song too. That's another little in joke for us. I'm sorry.
From but it's definitely in there, and it would always come up. You'd get a Bob reference once a night at some point.
It's kind of a treat to hear a song like this where you kind of do know the players and the place, and like I don't have to close my eyes and imagine what this room looks like. I know exactly what it looks like. I probably know where you were sitting. I probably sat on the bar stool next to you while you were sitting there. I know we've closed the place down a few times, but it's also the kind of thing that's just very universal. It really, like, who doesn't have a local in their town where they know that guy at the end of the bar and that girl who's always getting into situations and that bartender who really, is doing something else. I think that's a very universal thing. And I think you capture that really, really well. It's got a nice frame around it.
It's a relief at the end of a work day, or it's like for a lot of us musicians, we'd come in there late after rehearsals and close the bar down, and some of us became really close with not some of us, but a lot, we became close with the staff. Everybody was, it was kind of all one big family.
Yeah, I love the line, "Let's trash the barrier between your trouble and mine." That really kind of speaks to the whole thing there. Great. Well, this is a fantastic song. It's the second to last song on the album as we're winding it down. We got one more episode to come, so please stick around and listen to that. Thanks for listening so far, and we'll see you next time.